let's have a look what's in the room. Right. A giant mutant asparagus, inexplicably robust given the fact it's encased in red concrete, perhaps the healthful electromagnetic fields of harvest. The man of the house squeezing his meat. Yeah, that sounds too bright night, doesn't it? Okay, anything. Right, so we'll go in here and ask about my hoe, who I've got to plant some seed in before I get a
Hello, Steve. Have you flossed today? Honestly, you men can insult a woman without even knowing you've done it. What a horrible thing to say.
You're both standing around baking cookies. Same kind of dress. Same pearls. So bizarre.
There's nothing bizarre about baking cookies. The Harvest Charity Bake Sale is Friday, you know, and by gosh, Mrs. Marvin Potston Jr. can be counted on to do her share. Just because I'm doing housework doesn't mean I have to be a drudge. It's a wife's duty to look good for her husband at all times. What's wrong with wearing pearls, for heaven's sake?
Nothing, but you look like June Cleaver. Some kind of sitcom mom.
Sitcom?
Geez, you know, a situation comedy. The weird part is, I can't remember how I know that.
I'm much too busy with housework to watch TV. Maybe Mr. Potsdam would know about sitcoms. Stephanie doesn't watch TV, though. She's grounded. Mr. Potsdam feels there's too much at stake to allow Stephanie to run around loose.
She doesn't want to get married either, huh?
Are you saying you don't want to marry my daughter?
I don't know your daughter, Mrs. Potsdam. Why is she grounded? Afraid she'll run away before the wedding?
No! She's as delighted as we are about the wedding, every bit as delighted as we are. But she might get hit by a car, or a falling piano, or who knows what. Mr. Potsdam wants us all to be one happy family, and he doesn't want to risk anything happening at the last minute. I don't see any reason why not.
This charity bake sale, what is it supposed to benefit?
Oh, I dislike talking about gruesome subjects. When you get right down to it, all charity is pretty ugly, isn't it?
I don't follow.
Ask Mr. Moynihan. He's organized this event. In conjunction with the lodge, naturally. Mr. Moynihan runs the Wayward Hotel and the Shady Oaks Funeral Parlor. It's rumored he has connections with the lodge, but the order keeps that kind of thing secret. So Mr. Potsdam has tried to get him to put in a good word for his lodge application, but so far...
What can you tell me about the lodge?
Just that they're exclusive and secretive. If you're curious, you ought to pick up a lodge application at the post office and take it over to the sergeant-at-arms. Isn't that a thought? Forget Mr. Potsdam. If you became a member of the order, we could hold the wedding inside the lodge. My, wouldn't that be lovely?
Tell me about this wedding.
Well, it's set for 3 weeks. We're holding it over at Shady Oaks, Mr. Moynihan's funeral parlor.
Say what?
Now, I know it's not a very romantic place, but there's nowhere else to hold it, thanks to Mr. Potsdam. You mustn't be too hard on Mr. Potsdam, Steve. He's a disappointed man. No matter how many lodge admission forms he fills out, they keep turning him down. He has a new application in, though, so keep your fingers crossed. If he joins the lodge, you and Stephanie can have your wedding in the Chapel of Love, rather than over at Moynihan's place. Give my regards to your parents.
she's off renting it from me. Say exit, it said exit round here somewhere. Randomly. Oh, okay. Several books about red meat, its importance to living well. Classic wrong butch. So whose room's this? Oh, there's my girl. She looked quite fine. See her look back then like, yo, are you gonna come in and scuttle on this or what? She has nice taste.
Who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Haven't you heard? We're getting married.
So, you're the one. Steve, isn't it?
You mean
Oh.
you don't know me?
I mean, I don't know anyone. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to say it?
Just
Oh.
one, Stephanie, because I can't remember a damn thing either.
Really? Oh God, I thought it was just me.
You're not alone. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Those people downstairs have locked me in my room. They say I'm grounded until the wedding.
Do you reckon she's genuine or do you reckon she's playing on because, like, they know? Maybe I'm like, you know, they said the mother said something about the homeless and that, like. Maybe that's what they're doing, and I'm going to end up being some sort of sacrifice, and I'm not going to keep my regards about her.
Maybe my amnesia isn't total after all. You're familiar to me. Like we've met before. In another life.
Well, she's
Maybe we
cute.
really do live here. Maybe we were together and the same thing happened to both of us. An accident. Something.
Neither of us has bumps on our heads, if that's what you're getting at.
Have you been able to
Said that
remember
was
anything
smart.
else? Anything at all?
Well, I have had these recurring dreams. Just fragments, really. Strange, abstract images. Liquid, chrome.
Probably just a dream.
Well, have you thought about how to escape Harvest?
Escape?
Harvest is a prison, Steve. Don't forget that. Of course I'm right. Everything in Harvest seems to revolve around this damned lodge, this Order of the Harvest Moon. They're responsible for this insane bake sale that's coming, and for the Harvest Blood Drive, too. When people talk about the lodge, it's always in this hushed, reverent tone. Mom keeps telling me that women can't join, but she keeps pressuring me to get you to join.
She's not the only one who wants me to sign on with the lodge.
That's probably the worst thing you could do.
You think the lodge is some kind of trap?
I think all of Harvest is a trap.
If that's true, maybe joining the lodge is the way out.
Look, why not explore the town a little? I can't get out of here, but if I could, that's what I'd do. Maybe you can figure out what's happening here without going anywhere near the lodge.
You're really afraid of the lodge, aren't you?
I look at that building, all lit up at night, and I get scared.
She's going to do the same thing again.
I mean, look at the damn thing. Seem like a harmless bunch of Masons to you?
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Is there anything else you can
Steve,
say?
it's good to talk to you, but if we're going to escape this wedding thing, you'd better come back and visit me.
Okay. So So let's go find out about Mr. Moynihan. And if we just quickly save overflow. Talk to Fat Man McGee.
If it isn't my favorite son-in-law, what brings you here again?
Just to say bye. And to get the fuck out of your crazy ass house. Shall I go back to our house and see what Mom says?
I told you I'm busy. Don't forget to put the paper.
So the slaughterhouse and Mr. Moynihan, who runs the Shady Oaks thing. Right, general store, post office, barbershop, missile base, meat plant, TV station, Edna's Diner, police station, fire station, newspaper building, Wayward Hotel. Should we see what this abandoned house is? Your car perfect is nesting ground for wasps. Who the fuck? Oh, is this wasp lady? Icebox is sealed shut with wasp nest. I hate wasps, I do.
It's not often that I get visitors.
Are you the wasp woman?
I am Tetsuo Crumb. The ignorant of harvest call me the wasp woman. A pejorative, no doubt, born of fear and a poverty of imagination.
I don't understand.
The politics of honey, the Judeo-Christian rites of sacrifice and conventional taboos against unbridled pleasure are all responsible for the prejudice against wasps. The politics of honey are intertwined with the age-old struggle of the aesthetic versus the commercial. Because I choose to raise wasps instead of bees, I'm frowned upon by the community. Why? Well, raising bees is acceptable because they produce honey. But sometimes it's not what is produced, so much as what is performed.
I don't see any particular use for wasps.
Why must everything have a use? Is money always the determining factor? More slender, more aerodynamic than the bee. The wasp is a joy to behold. Beautiful and juicy. Isn't that enough to compensate for the little drawbacks?
The fact you get stung 20 times a day.
Well, as you can see, the little darlings do love to sting. Another source of prejudice for the masses, and another reason to love them. Bees are like animals. They sting only for a reason, for sacrifice. They have no conception of individual sensation, of pleasure. Yes, a great deal of pleasure. The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation. Each
She said
painful
it.
welt, an act of love.
So when you get stung by a wasp, you're getting impregnated.
When a bee stings, it rips itself apart and dies for its audacity. This appeals to those raised worshipping a god that demands sacrifice and atonement. But the wasp is promiscuous. They are not as sympathetic to the masses because they don't die when they sting. They live to sting another day, and they take pleasure from it.
So the way she's talking, the lodge and the wasps. She's going to say
Yes,
ejaculation again, yeah?
each.
Rather colourful picture of a wasp. Okay. Well, on that note, we will save the game. Being a joke and Klopstock will be. And I will see you on the flip flop.